WFYI podcasts are made possible by Bloomington, Indiana, an American college town offering experiences like indulging in grub at Nick's English Hut, taking a stroll along Kirkwood Avenue, feeling the history and magic of Assembly Hall, and providing the chance to feel like a college kid again. Plan your trip at visitbloomington.com.
I'm Kyle Long, and you're listening to a special podcast edition of Cultural Manifesto, featuring an unedited conversation with the organizers of Chreece, an all-day hip-hop festival happening in Fountain Square. Let's join our conversation. Thank you all for being here. Does everybody want to go around, introduce themselves so our listeners
can... round robin?
Yeah, hear your voice. Jay?
I'm sitting in OJ's spot, so this
if you want
to... No, this is cool. No. I'll start, and we'll go right. I've been doing the media for Chreece for a while now.
If you want to give your title or how you like to be addressed, whatever you want to do.
Your Lord and Master? No. Jay Brookinz here, artist director for Chreece. Dude, here we go again.
It's Jane Sun Kim, festival director, artist, curator. Here we go.
I am Oreo Jones, and I am the founder, creator of Chreece.
Thank you all for being here. Most of these questions are going to be open to anyone, but Oreo is the founder. I did have a couple questions for you specifically. Mm-hmm. This is the 9th year of Chreece. You founded the festival in 2015. That was a time period when I feel like rap music was changing a lot, and it was changing in ways that alienated the older generation, the old guard. Like that was the rise of mumble rap, and it was like a line was being drawn between the past, present, and future. When you started this festival, a lot of that old guard looked at you with suspicion. They were skeptical of Chreece. Now, 9 years later, some view you as a veteran of this scene. Has that impacted the way you operate? Does it change the way you curate this festival and produce this festival?
Oh, yeah. I take it as like an honor to still be able to even do this. Just because like with the history of festivals and how they come and go and in the city and beyond, even in the country. But yeah, when we first started, the scene was completely different. It was really powerful in 2015, with just, I feel like SoundCloud and a lot of the internet. You could be anywhere in any corner of the world and you could share anything, and technology changed, even making it more accessible, even more so when I first started. So, so many voices and so many different styles, I think, kind of came to a head. It's different now too, and I think from 2020 and just how the state of the world was then, I think there's just like a kind of regrouping thing going on now, because I mean, even back then, 2015 to now, it's changed a lot. And it's really cool seeing even new faces and hearing new sounds that I didn't even know existed here in the city. So I think it's really special to see and kind of, look and see what's popping. Yeah.
I think you were here for the first Chreece Festival, promoting the event with John Rogers at the time of Musical Family Tree. Throughout the years, I felt at times you were a reluctant promoter. You're more comfortable being the artist, the MC. Have you grown into that role? At certain points, you were skeptical of whether you would continue this yourself. Has that changed? I guess is my question.
Yeah, I feel like every year I'm like, what am I doing? But when I always have this glimmer of hope every year, and these like little minute things that make it so worth it and so special, and how it means to the city. But to answer your question, I don't consider myself a promoter, and I hate that word. And I am an artist through and through. I created this festival through the lens of an artist, from how we book to how we take care of the artists and how we curate it. I think it's important. I think some of the strongest things that people can do comes in a form of creativity or art, and they do it in a way that is close to the chest and through their mind. So yeah, I even like being a it's even saying the word curator. I don't know. I feel like I am still trying to make this balance. I'm trying to tell everyone that there's this thing and it's so important and it's a part of our history in the city. But yeah, I'm an artist, man, through and through. Yeah.
We were talking about the ways rap music has changed. I'm old enough to remember when there was just rap music. There are dozens of genres and micro genres now. We even see that reflected here in the city in different neighborhood scenes. Jane, maybe this is a question for you. I'm curious, as you're booking the festival, as you're curating the acts, how careful are you to have like a balance that represents the full spectrum of the genre? Does that weigh into it, or are you just pulling folks in the community that you like, or is there a bigger sort of methodology behind it to be representative of all these scenes?
Well, I know like year one when I was like last year being fully involved in this position, it was definitely a push and pull because Sean and Jay, being amazing human beings they are, still have a very way of working that has worked for the last 6 festivals, right? And the community of hip hop in Indianapolis was so strong and so tight before COVID that it was a machine. And then I come in and I'm like, well, I'm coming from the lens of being a visual artist, but also a consumer of music and culture, and I'm used to being a part of that, and maybe you're used to being on the other side. So at first I'm like, man, am I qualified for this? Can I give you anything that you guys already don't have? And it was a struggle of confidence and ego, and also psyching yourself out and being like, yeah, you believe in the mission, you believe that local artists are great in Indianapolis and need their shine, then yeah, so the biggest thing was involving females that I listened to, R&B, I think they had definitely gone into the DIY, even punk, rap that has been in the city. But I'm like, well, Afro beats, that's what I listened to all last summer and even now. So how is the umbrella of hip hop? And this is something at South by Southwest in March I went to, and I listened to a conference about, hey, where is hip hop located? Is it a U.S. genre or is it international now? And I'm like, it definitely is. K-pop is influenced by rap and hip hop. That is in the underbelly. Almost any K-pop song has a rap portion in it. It's ingrained in their songs. So I look at it as, of course, this started as a festival for Black culture, hip hop, giving ode to that, the past. But it moves forward to honor that, but also include everybody else. I want to be able to bring in Latin artists and Asian artists that are in this lane that are making music that might not be the traditional hip hop that we're used to. So yeah, there's definitely push and pull, and they're awesome, and yeah.
Jay,
speaking of this is because you hit my inbox every once in a while. You be like, hey, have you thought about hitting up this person or this type of rap
West
music
African
or
MCs
West
or
African,
Latin MCs,
and I always hit you back.
I know, we'll get it figured out one day.
All right, because I always hit you back. I want to know. I want you to know that I hit you back.
You did.
Okay, I was like,
it's my fault,
bro. I'm in the process of getting submissions right now, which is new. We did submissions for the first time this year. Open the floodgates. You know what I'm saying? Taking on new talent, having people sit down and listen to every submission. Was it 200 submissions? It was something crazy. But we're open to it because we don't want it to get stale, and I do feel like it is changing in a way where maybe you're in a pocket of doing something that we're not aware of. So I want to keep the submissions going going forward, just so we can get people and encouraging people. Hey man, I don't care if you're rapping in Spanish or you're rapping in whatever. Submit. We'll figure it out. I don't want people to think that we're turning anybody away. We'll listen to any and everything and give our opinions. We had a score sheet and everything. Shout out to Wild Style, DJ Bay, Joe Adams. We had a whole squad listen to submissions. So yeah, we want to grow. Because it's not I was talking to OJ. I was like, bruh, it's weird. We 2015 and now we're almost the old heads. You know what I'm saying? So we need that new energy, and we're committed to finding it. Because back then we were the dudes that were out here wilding out and making music and partying and doing all this stuff, and now we're like, oh snap, like there's a new generation that calls me OG. And it's really weird, because of the people I call OG, like, Rusty Redenbacher, I can name a million people. I would call you an OG.
Thanks.
Even though you look very young. I don't know if you guys know that. He looks very young.
Yeah.
But I would still say OG.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to grow and find those pockets. So I think there's still growth to be had. So let's work that out, me and you.
Sure, absolutely.
I have a funny thing that happened to me last night. We've been involving like younger designers, especially from the two other designers other than the GOAT K-Nags.
Shout out to K-Nags.
is B and Francis, and they're actually still at Heron and doing their VCD. But I was asking Francis, I was like, what are you listening to right now? And she's like, you know what? I'm actually really listening to old music, like older rap. And I was like, oh, okay, like who? And she said, Childish Gambino. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's painful.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, all right. Yeah, this is where we're at now. So.
The oldies.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Time flies.
It does.
Oreo, how concerned are you about presenting a balanced bill that reflects the past, present, future, all these genres, subgenres? Does that just kind of naturally manifest, or is it something you worry about?
Yeah, I don't really worry about it because I feel like I pride myself on always looking forward and trying to listen. I feel like I have a good grasp too on the city, even like outside of hip hop. Like I feel like I go to shows a lot and I bartend at State Street at a venue that, has a lot of different programming there. And I feel like I have a good finger on the pulse of what's going on. So I'm always trying to do my due diligence to see what's popping. And I think it's important. It's so important. Like when I first started coming up, it was hard for me to find space. That was pretty much the kind of the genesis of this festival, because there wasn't a lot of venues that catered to local hip hop. It was very hard to get booked for shows. So this was what this festival was like. The start of it was just like trying to create a space where multiple venues can celebrate hip hop. And I really do believe it kind of paved I don't want to say pave the way, but it opened the doors up for a lot more hip hop shows since that first year. And if I had that opportunity, or if Chreece existed when I first started, like a decade plus ago, I think it would have been like even more amazing. So I'm just I think we are, not just me, but always trying to evolve and try to make it accessible and offer a space for any kind of artist or anyone that's just like kind of lost, like I was at one point in time in my career. I was an artist that no one really believed in me, or I was trying to find my voice and, hey, give me a shot type, Mm-hmm. So I think this is pretty much the ethos of what we're trying to convey. Yeah.
That's a great point that is probably lost on a lot of younger people in the scene. I remember 10 years ago, there were conversations about banning rap music in Broad Ripple, and there were venues in Fountain Square that were known to refuse rap shows. That's changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
It sure has. Yeah, totally. And I think it's great. I think we're at one of the greatest points in, I feel like, our scene in the history of the city, just because there's so many different, venues, and not even traditional venues like bookstores and art spaces and stuff like that I think would make the city great and beautiful. Yeah.
Jay, you mentioned for the first time Chreece accepted artist submissions, right? People could essentially audition their music to be included in the festival.
Yeah.
We've joked in years past that every year when you announce the festival, people come out in attack mode.
People be in their feelings.
Has this democratized the process? Has there been less controversy this year since you made the process more engaging?
I feel like this has been the easiest release of our lineup that we've ever had. There's still people that will go out and be like, it's the same people every year. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's like way different, which was by design. You know what I'm saying? Not that we couldn't have added some of the people that were here in the past. We really were trying to shake it up and like, look, we're doing something new. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're going to ride with it or you're not. But, what were you asking me? Did
this democratize the process? Did it lessen the negative blowback?
I think it did. Yeah. I really think it did. I was almost disappointed that we didn't get the feedback, the negative feedback, because honestly, over the years, I was so used to getting the negative feedback. It was almost like promotion for us, whether it was good or bad. I mean, Facebook, the algorithm can't tell the difference. Like, you're using the word Chreece and you're saying, you know, like now they're even getting a little more slick and they're not even putting Chreece in it. So like it's been like super like low key. I catch a couple subliminals, you know, we catch a couple strays every once in a while. I see them. You know what I mean? I'm on the internet a lot. I see them. But, you know, it was definitely a smoother process. So like I was a little bit disappointed, but maybe it made me feel like we did the right thing.
Yeah, I think it's important to know and let people know why we get negative feedback. I think it's just because we have a scene, and there's a lot of people. There's a lot. I mean, there's like 1 million folks in Indianapolis. A lot of them are rappers, and the culture. I mean, the genre is huge. And people are so passionate, and the music, it's like the most accessible genre. Anyone can make anything in their bedroom, and they can make hits, and they can make a living off of it. And it's like, yo, I can get a shot too. I'm just as good as the next person, So I feel like we're in such a tight-knit community that people are just so passionate, and they feel that they should be on these platforms to help, you know, take to the next step, to the next level. So I think that's like why I think it should be noted that like, yo, people are really really passionate about this festival.
Yeah.
You know?
But do people need? I feel like they need to wake up because, like you said, like the barrier for entry for rap music is way low, dude. Like it's super low. And everybody, if you're just looking and seeing things and emulating these things that you see, you think you are these people that you're trying to emulate, and that's not the case. You know what I mean? There's a lot more things that go into, you know, like performing live. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just such a different, it's almost two different things. It's like, are you a artist that makes, you know, music and puts it on DSPs and performs, or are you just an artist that, you know, just performs and is not really worried about DSPs? Like it's I feel like that's widening, you know what I'm saying?
For
like,
sure.
because I know some people, and I hate that music has gotten into numbers so much. Like we're so, you know, fixated on how many plays monthly, you know, Spotify plays do they have. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't necessarily translate to having a good stage presence, or, you know, being a good performer, or a fan base that will come out to see you. You know what I'm saying?
Physical fans.
Like it's just widening this gap. Like it's really a tricky thing to navigate. And I just don't want people to be fooled. Like, you know, like, why didn't you get this person? He's got 40,000 monthly listeners. You know what I'm saying? Like, but, you know, you go to this page, like they don't do live shows. It's like, why don't you do that? It's because you can't get people to come out and see you perform. Yeah. You know, that's not your thing. And that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's, you know, I'm not tripping off of that. But I feel like maybe the casual viewer of these things doesn't really understand these things. Like, I'm looking for a different type of vibe. I'm looking for somebody that can bring people out to the show and put on a good performance. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how this works. And we had a lot of years. I'm sorry if I'm getting long-winded on this. This has been on my heart. Look, the Spirit tell me to go ahead and tell you this. We had a long time where people put on really, really bad performances in Indianapolis. And I feel like that wrecked live shows for hip hop. And so, like, if you go to see somebody and they're not really good at performing and they're whack, you're not going to go back to local shows anymore. So, like, I feel like that's something that Chreece kind of was like, you know, we put that, I don't want to say we put it on our backs, but that's something that's very important to us. When people they may not know about the Naptown scene, go to a show, we want them to be entertained so that you know, it's not just for us. It's for your show. If you're gonna throw a show, you're like, oh man, I went to Chreece. I saw these people, and they were tight. Like I really enjoyed their performance. So I might give this another chance. You know, I mean, I've been in shows for a long time where I was like, man, these guys are killing this crowd, and they're not just killing them now; they're killing them for the future. So like we're just trying to change that, and I hope you're following me here.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I literally tell everybody that, hey, Jay and John actually care about everyone that they know and they don't know. And they don't want to put artists on there and set them up for not success. And so when he talks about, hey, like...
We just did a fist bump. Yes, absolutely, we're correct.
Like, if they don't see that you have performed, they're not going to be inclined to do that, because we don't want a situation where nobody comes out for you and then you're disappointed in, like, you know, it's a cycle. So it's like when you're ready and you've had that practice, like I think that's when the time will come.
And that's another part of that is the people that can perform were always getting the gigs because they were, you know, show and prove. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up in this, you know, the school of going to like Mud Kid shows, and I can remember that feeling of going to see them. It was like I'm going to go see like, you know, like a national artist at the Emerson. You know what I'm saying? Like that changed my life. And like, so when you're really, really good at performing, like you're always going to get a lot of gigs. And there's not a lot. There's elite people out here that can perform. And that do very, very good performances. And so I feel like when people see them get these show opportunities, they're like, why are they always getting the show opportunities? It's like, because these dudes rock a crowd and make people want to come back. And not only does that help us, that helps them, that helps you when you decide to, you know, get out there and step on a stage. So like there's this whole live music scene that we're trying to cultivate here and bring it back to like the heyday.
I'm going to say one more thing because...
Please do, because I feel like I'm going too crazy right now.
Because obviously you're passionate about it, and like
Very.
now I get it, like after just like year 2, is that like you make music, you put that music out, but your performance and your ability to connect with your music and to connect to a crowd who probably most likely, other than the people that come to see you, have never heard your music. So that is the reality. You're playing to people who've never heard your music. So if you can't connect with the crowd, or you don't think of that, and that's then that's not going to work in the way that you think it is. It's not like a magical, you put your music out and then all of a sudden there's a great fan base. If there is, you're so lucky. That's great. That's amazing. But so yeah, like this is about discovery, obviously, and we tell a lot of people that, like, especially like you know, ask anybody you know, like, name me a local artist, name me a local hip hop artist, one, just the random person. And when you don't hear that, you're like, dang, you're missing out. You are. So
shout out to the last shot. I know this has a little bit to do with that, like the shout out to D Hart, shout out to Jinx, shout out to Lil Billy. You know, people that actually came out and performed live in front of people, you know, so we can see, you know, how they perform and stuff like that. Shout out to the winner, D Hart. I know we ain't posted you on the page. It's all good. This is the makeup. Go check out D Hart music on IG. He won the Last Shot competition, which is a live performance competition that we throw every year
to compete for a spot on the festival.
To compete for a paid spot.
Yeah.
Come on now. Look. Yes. We not just giving you a slap on the face. We give you some bread too, bro. Like we trying to change the game, man. I hope people. I'm about to start crying, bro. Like, we trying to change the game, man. Like, we trying to look, it ain't even about me. I'm trying to put money in people's pockets. Nobody was trying to do that, bro. When I was doing this, I had to grind. Dang, it's crazy. Y'all got me, man. Y'all got me emotional, bro. Dang, they gonna clip this up and have me looking crazy. Yo,
No, I know what you're talking about. There was a time when, like, it was almost expected rappers would play for free on a bill. Like, you go on between these two things.
Or pay to get on,
or
man.
Pay to play, yeah. Pay to open for somebody at the Emerson, yeah. It was a very exploitative scene for a long time. preying on young people's dreams and ambitions in a
Talk
very
to 'em, man.
cruel way.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I think that definitely is something that is so that we're really trying to hammer, and we're trying to break these stigmas, and we're trying to educate. I think that's the evolution of this, is like to break these stigmas where, Jay is given an artist a check for the first time, and they don't even know. So I think that's just like so important, and that we're trying to convey and trying to, that's the culture we're trying to build. Yeah.
Also, another, so we definitely needed some wins because, like, we've honestly been working insanely hard because. See, why'd you do that?
Yo, it's crazy. We've been working so hard, dude.
Yeah.
First time I haven't taken summer school in like 4 years, and I've been like working 24/7. And I was the worst student at Heron. I'm even gonna say it. I was the worst student at Heron for the last year because it's like, I couldn't multitask. We had All-Star in February, and I was just like, man, I didn't go to class for 2 weeks because I was like, I'm sorry, this is like a inelastic event. Like, this is something that must be done, and if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. Like, of course, we have our team.
Small but mighty.
Yeah, small and everybody on our team that unspoken heroes that are helping us behind the scenes. Like, we cannot do it without them. And it's actually crazy because the three of us are so used to grinding so hard that giving them, like, us letting go and relaxing and giving them accepting their help is so difficult for us, and we've been talking about that for so long. But, like 200 artist submissions, that's wild. 200 people in the city, who at least heard about Chreece submitted. Of course, we can't have them all play, but we did not want to leave them hanging, and so the G-Note panel, which had been started like in...
Yeah, Ron started that. Yeah.
Yep.
2017?
2017, yeah.
We were like, we're gonna bring that back. We're going to not leave these people hanging. We're gonna bridge this and make sure there's an artist development, a tangible artist development part through our festival, because again, we are Chreece Festival. That is not an artist's end goal. Us as an organization, the festival is not our end goal. We're here to help artists and also give them resources, or even have people like us and other people in the community connected with them so that they feel like they're not all alone. Which we had the last shot at Draft Creative Space. Thank you so much,
G-Note.
Rebecca. Oh, G-Note, yeah. Yeah, it was back-to-back events. But the G-Note panel, this year we brought in 3V Agency out of Chicago that manages Mother Nature, all-female run. They just killed it. Trying to give, when you're talking about kids also, and I say kids because we're a little older, but like 21-year-olds who might not live through the pandemic, maybe the social of like, hey, how do I get into the industry? What is the insight? What is a secret? And we're like, wow, the secret is not making your music and having friends in it. It's really talking to people in a genuine manner, following up, those kinds of social skills that should be basic, but it's hard to know that's the truth. It's not having better clothes or a better style. Like, it's connecting with people. And I think they did a really good job with that. Mirror Indie, thank you. And then we had a demo session.
Killed it.
It was so cool. 90 seconds, we had 10 artists, a variety of styles, and play their track, introduce themselves, give us a little snippet of who you are. We're here to listen with open ears, objective, give you the feedback, tell you what's strong. And that was it was just fun. And everybody in the stands, which we had like 75 people, be supportive of whoever it was. It wasn't their style maybe, but they were like, oh, yo, this is cool. And this is happening in Indy? Like, like we're a slower market, which Jay and Sean has told me. So maybe like some of our other headliners from previous years who like are killing it at Rolling Loud and getting crowds of thousands and thousands, and you come here and like maybe Indie doesn't really know about them yet. So to have that kind of different kinds of music, shameless, like there's a couple artists here that are doing kind of like old, they're like young, like 21 young, doing like 90s R&B, kind of like nostalgia throwback music. some people kind of doing like a Channel Chreece, if you guys know, Channel Chreece oriented.
Jersey Club type
Yeah,
stuff.
which I've been following forever, which I haven't, like, I'm like, this is what I want to go, dance to. So yeah, it was a really, really special moment. We needed a win, so.
There are 70 plus artists performing this year at Chreece. You have national headliners, Dim Franchise Boys, Currency.
Did you count 70? I feel like I always say 70 plus, and I'm not sure.
Okay.
70
Well,
people on there.
we're rounding up.
All right, we go over 70.
Mother Nature is going to play. There are also some special events happening. I want to ask you about that in a minute. But first, just anybody who wants to chime in, tell us about the lineup this year. Any highlights any of you want to share? Any thoughts on the lineup?
You have favorites?
I'm excited to see Currency. That's really exciting to get some New Orleans representation. Legend, mixtape legend. Ron, DJ Indiana Jones. He always had the mantra "cradle to the grave." Like, I think that's like something that we try to encompass with this festival, spanning multiple generations and adding legacy acts like Them Franchise Boys and something for everyone. I think it's important because, the genre is like 50 years. It's kind of crazy to think about how impactful it has been to just the world and how many different subgenres there are in it and age groups. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all kinds of the new Jacks too, this YDE kid and OTGCs and ESPN NIA. I feel like we did a really good job just like getting the different neighborhoods, West Side, Far East Side, South Side, North Side. Like that's something that I feel like we try to get, geographically tuned into, like, what's going on in the city, because it's different. So it's kind of, it's different sides of the city sound completely different than others.
Jane, anything you want to say about the lineup as a whole?
Okay, so I'm super excited about a couple people. Reminisce, because me as a person who likes dancing, I have not even seen Reminisce live, but she was like, I want to have dancers included, because I believe that art, fashion, music, everything is connected. And it's also like your brand, not in a commercial way, but your brand is in, like, who are you? Like, I want to see all of it. So she's having a couple of dancers. I think she's playing at Square Cat at 4. And to incorporate those dancers, not as go-go dancers, which is great too, but as somebody who's going with the music, using this music to inspire their movement. That's really exciting to me. I'm also excited about Los Comet. He's got this, like, really deep voice. We plugged him through, like, Top View Tuesdays, shout out. And yeah, I'm also just like, man, I hope I just walk by a stage and I'm like, who, like, turn your neck and like, who is this?
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, really.
Jay, I always feel a lot of variety.
I know. When I feel like when we start talking about these names, I always be like, damn, I should have said my guy,
I know.
My homie. No, I got the list here. One of the things I think is, like, super tight is, like, people that were started off at small stages and are kind of moving up to big stages. Man, TGI Free, like, was the runner-up for Last Shot last year, and now he's like co-headlining, like, the indoor hi-fi.
Dang.
Like, just literally killing every stage he's been on. Want to definitely give a shout-out to him. 4200 headlining indoor hi-fi, you know what I'm saying? Eli G, person I'd never heard of until this year, actually brought a submission in. Like, I've never seen him perform live, so, like, except on the thing that he sent in. But, like, there's people that I wasn't familiar with. Shout out to Keezy, Arizona, also amazing music. Like you said, ESPN NIA has been, like, super cool to watch, like, super, like, high energy and cool.
Kevin Ho,
yes. Shout out to Kevin Ho. The last thing we put out with Kevin Ho was the Chreece and Transit. Shout out to Chreece and Transit, Jake Huber, Indigo,
gang.
Like,
all the response.
Just, like, literally, like, punch you in the mouth type of sound, like, just like some people that I've never like seen like live and stuff like that. That are really like under. I want to say they're under the radar, but I feel like a lot of people do know about them and like go to their shows.
It's a dope
like
underground.
Yeah,
too.
it's like it's like an underground bubbling up, like, and that's just
very vamp.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the stuff they do is super. There's a super dope underground vamp scene and EDM scene.
Wow, shameless plug. We are doing an after party this year. Well, we're doing two because I think the biggest thing is collaborators with Chreece. We're always like so excited because we know that there's cool things going on. Some people just need to get plugged with it. Shout out to No Rap on Sundays, Lex. But Songs for You this year is doing an R&B one at Upland, which we haven't said a lot about. But on the note of Kevin, I Am Slap House Elgin. He has been doing really great parties in the city, mostly like, of course, house music. His parties are like club cunt, and it's like flipping the word cunt into a positive connotation, like not what we kind of call people the C word. Like it's a good thing.
Respect.
Yes. And it's the younger generations are just like they need an outlet to be happy, be free, feel comfortable.
Safe.
So he's doing something called NBA, which is nothing but ass, at Atomic, and it's a hip hop dance party. So very good friends with Kevin. Kevin is always like, played at Club Con and stuff. So, the connection between dance, music, and artists, DJs, like these circles are here. So
one new element of Chreece this year is a tribute to the late Ron Miner, better known as DJ Indiana Jones. You're hosting the DJ Indiana Jones Memorial Battle Royale. The proceeds from the event will go to the DJ Indiana Jones Scholarship. Jay, you're getting your Kleenex ready. Do you want to talk about this? Does anyone want to talk about the tribute to Indiana Jones, the DJ battle?
Yeah. VDBL, the Vinyl Destination Battle League, Boogie Bang. Yeah, shout out to them. They hosted an amazing circuit, and they came to us about trying to be involved. And we collaborated with them with the NBA All-Star pop-up that we did earlier this year. But Ron Indiana Jones is just such words can't describe his impact on us, and it's been kind of hard with him not being around. And I always want to keep him in the conversation no matter what. He paid it forward for us. He was my mentor. He taught Jay and Jane and I so much, and I want to keep his legacy alive and keep it going. So yeah, I've been talking about it with his brother Jeff. Last year we made scholarship T-shirts where the proceeds would go to the DJ Indiana Jones Memorial Fund. It's a scholarship for youth that are interested in producing, DJs, any element of the hip hop design, trying to pay tuition at Decademics, or in any kind of programming to help pay it forward for the youth to continue and contribute to Ron's legacy. And I think that's important because, like we mentioned earlier, like it was hard for me as a kid when I first started out trying to find my way in this labyrinth. And I think that it's important to teach the youth and to foster the creativity and the talent and the beauty that the city has. So that's what we're doing at the Battle League. It'll be bracket style, 16 DJs going head to head. The winner will receive $1,000 grand prize, and all proceeds, $20 donations, will go to help building this scholarship in DJ Indiana Jones' name.
Yeah, it's super crazy because I feel like everybody he interacted with, he like left a piece of himself with them. you know, like just kind of left his fingerprint. Like, I mean, me and OJ joke about this. Like, I hear his voice sometimes when we're doing stuff. Most of the time when we're doing stupid stuff. Like Ron would be like totally getting on our top about some of the things that we've done. Rightfully so too. No, he's just one of those people that, you know, he would just leave his mark on you. And it's not just us. It's like thousands of people out here that he just left his mark on, and that's why, you know, he's so revered and loved, and, you know what I mean, like, and missed, definitely. You know what I'm saying?
I know you're just trying to get past the 24th, get this festival on, but again, next year is the 10th anniversary. Yeah. Have you started thinking about that yet? Is it going to be different next year? Are you going to do anything different for the 10th?
I think it's we've had this conversation. You know, we took a little hiatus, obviously, because of COVID and trying to regroup after Ron passing. But I think the future. I feel like we're really excited about it. And I think I could confidently say that for the first time in a long time. Chreece is our signature jump off. But I think that we're essentially trying to evolve and do all kinds of things in the city, whether it be pop-ups and collaboration and, you know, workshops and panels. And I think just using this as a vessel to keep the conversations going and keep the scene kind of like fine-tuned, oil changed, you know, like, you know, connect and teach people how to fish. And 10 years is crazy. It's a long time for, I think, any project. It doesn't matter if you're, you know, opening a bookstore or a restaurant or any practice or anything that you do. 10 years is, I feel like a good benchmark. So I feel blessed and honored to still be able to do this with some of my best friends. And I think it's really special.
I want to give everybody a chance to share final thoughts, but I have one last question for you, Oreo. You have 2 highly anticipated projects coming out in the next 6 months, let's say. You're releasing.
Let's go.
Yeah, I have to ask about this. You're releasing your first solo album since 2016. It's titled Nephew. I know you're having the release at Radio. And you're also releasing early next year, a new project with your band Bless.
Yep.
Tell me about the projects you have coming out as an artist.
Yeah. So these are like a culmination of working for a couple of years. Nephew is a project that I started on at the tail end of touring with Bless and releasing our debut. And I was just kind of sending demos. I wrote like 50-some songs in a short span of some days throughout the years, and I would send demos back to my friend Ben Lumsdane, who's an amazing producer. He's done stuff with Oreo Jones. He did his solo record, and Wishy that just dropped their record. We were kind of sending stuff back and forth, and I went out to Los Angeles for like a couple weeks. And we just kind of hammered it out in the studio and just made something that I don't think I've ever made before. And it's such a cool thing to still be able to have these conversations that I'm still creating music. I think that's so important. And it's an album that's just based on family and love and the pursuit of happiness. I tried to make something completely different from a lot of my stuff. Sometimes as an artist, I feel inspired when I'm in low places, but this record, I was inspired by love and my family and just continuing the legacy, for sure, of my ancestors and people that I hold dear to myself, the Bless record, Sleep Study, which is going to be dropping next year in 25. That's a really dope record that we've been working on as well. We worked on that for like a year and some change, and Moose and Sirius and I brought in Dimitri and Austri and Charlene Birdsong. So yeah, we have the whole band on it. So it's just like LP1's older brother. It sounds like, yeah, just more dynamic. Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, congrats, and look forward to hearing all that music.
He got the hottest song out right now.
Yeah.
I mean, real talk.
Yeah. I was like, why didn't you play
I've been,
Chreece?
I know, right? Like I've been listening to that book like nonstop. Like, ooh, this ain't my man jamming. I'm like, how does he do this? Like I see him working all the time, and like he's just like randomly at. I think it was at the state fair. You're like, hey man, you know I'm dropping a single tomorrow. I'm like, what? Like, how are you doing this, bro? Like you're a machine, and it's a big jam.
We'll end with that track. Final thoughts. Anyone want to start?
Go ahead, Jane.
Jane.
Honestly, I just really want to thank everyone that's helped us through this, because
we got some people.
Yeah. Like, of course, all of our sponsors, but our friends in the background, like, our volunteers, because we wouldn't be able to do it without you. Like, that's the truth. It's a huge effort. And, I think for something that I think Corey said this, like, during our Gino panel, because we were actually really enjoying ourselves. The three of us were like, oh my God, this is fun for us. And the idea of work versus fun and all this pressure that we have on us, Corey was like, yeah, like we can have so much fun doing this as long as we, like have each other and like support each other and help each other. And that's like so true. And I want to continue that. And also Sean and Jay had conversations about like when we feel like really like low, because it's tough, like all year working on this. And I always have to remind Sean and give him advice like, hey, what is it that right now with Chreece that you enjoy, that you are looking forward to? You personally, not you as Chreece the founder or the person that's doing this. Like, what are you excited about? And if you don't have anything, don't do it. If there's one thing, focus on that and put your energy into that, because that's what I had to do. Because you think I have 30 things I need to do. And I started finding the small things that I knew that was going to make my day, because even just talking about like, dancers or having a Chreece community car wash, I'm like, yeah, let's bring out the nice cars. Let's have a field day. And I was like, that's what we need to do. We do need to make ourselves like happy and create spaces for ourselves as well as everyone else. So always stay true to yourself. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to Factory for letting us do VDBL. And yeah, everyone else.
Jay, final thoughts?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like we talked a lot about like having a responsibility to the artists and making sure that we set them up for success. I also, this would kind of be like my final thoughts, is like a plea to people in the city to like come out and check it out, get tickets. I know money is tight. Money is tight, and like, groceries are like crazy, and all this gas is crazy and stuff like that. It's like we really tried to make it more affordable this year, and I want to like earn your hard-earned money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to just be like, hey, come out to my thing. Like, bro, it's 70 people out here. It's 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got some of the best in the city to come and entertain you and like take you away from, not reality, but like just take you out of your body for a second and like just enjoy like Naptown hip hop for 12 hours. I mean, if you come for 12 hours, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to just invite you to come check it out one time. Like if you could just check it out one time, I think I got you for the rest. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, festivals come and go, bruh. A hip-hop festival that's been here for almost 10 years is special, man. Like, because, I mean, literally, like, you one or two missteps from this mug not never happening again. You feel me? Like, so I feel blessed that we've been able to do it this long, man. It's crazy, looking back. Yeah, come check out Chreece, man. Real talk. And also, man, shout out. I always forget my man Fox the Legend. Shout out to Fox the Legend. Yeah. Shout out to Corey, who's been really helping me. I know she doesn't get enough props. Like I'm trying not to forget a whole bunch of people's names while I'm up there. There's so many people.
Yeah. Metronome,
Katarina, my brother.
Macy, Regan, Sart. Yeah.
All the people that have answered these calls like a week out, and like when I'm asking them to do stuff, like coming, I got you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's a
K-Nag.
Nags.
It's the endless patience, I think, that people, and the understanding that the people around us have, that I think most appreciate, because like I got like 100 unread text messages at this point in my life, But people understand the reality, and they're here to support, and that doesn't mean that they need to be in main event. They understand they're here to be a part of something. So but
final thoughts, Oreo.
I think this is the best time in the history of hip hop right now, or just music in general in the city. And I'm going to say that with confidence because there's just in the city in general, I think it's great. There's spaces and there's people pushing boundaries, and I think it's important to support that. And what better way to do that than have a hip hop festival in Fountain Square? It's just come through, have an open mind, like see something different. If you aren't even from the city and you're just dropped in the neighborhood on the day of Chreece, it'll feel like you're in a whole nother world. And I think that's something that we strive to create, a space that is unique.
Chreece is happening on Saturday, August 24th in Fountain Square. You can find more information, purchase tickets online at chreeceaf.com. Let's end with the new single from Oreo Jones, Dorothy Dandridge in E minor. Thank you all for being here and talking about Chreece. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
Infinite air horns.
Thank you.
Wrote this in 28-point Gothic font. And these bitches get like me, roll for 65 just like the Autobahn. Roll to the function, how's the ambiance? The melody is like a golden tablecloth she tap her fingers on. I'm starving Marvin like it's Ramadan. These hazel eyes you gaze upon, but no, we're searching for an audience. Curiosity's a kitten in your bankroll. As the sunlight kisses angles as they change clothes. Pray for a boundless night, dance under the harvest moon. As your heartbeat to the tempo of the spade tune. Guy with a denim jacket winks at me from Neptune. I never tell her that she's crazy cause that's
WFYI podcasts are made possible by Bloomington, Indiana, an American college town offering experiences like indulging in grub at Nick's English Hut, taking a stroll along Kirkwood Avenue, feeling the history and magic of Assembly Hall, and providing the chance to feel like a college kid again. Plan your trip at visitbloomington.com.